Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video and welcome to the 1st of April. I have a special message for you, so if you're ready we can begin. So April is this month that comes with the number 4, right? And usually in April nature starts blooming and we ask ourselves, well, are we blooming as well? Are you blooming as well? Like, are we giving life to what we want to see in our lives? Like, what is that main goal, that main priority that I truly want to dedicate my life to? And am I allowing it to bloom? Am I allowing it to grow? Am I nurturing it? Am I feeding it with my energy, with my thoughts, with my actions? Am I truly taking care of it? Because often we may say, well, I'm too busy, I don't have enough of time, people around me are not supporting me, I don't have enough of money. But then we ask ourselves, well, if I would just erase all of that, where I would set my attention to? And usually we don't know because we just don't take time to prioritize things in our lives, to live more intentionally and to actually to actualize our vision into reality. So I just want to remind you, this month of April, it's a month of implementation. That's something we were talking before, right? And it means that we truly ask ourselves how much we're living intentionally and how well we take care of all different aspects of ourselves, because we all have many different priorities. But the question is, how much we truly take care of them. Because if we don't take care of them, we fall into that process of self-guilt, right? We start blaming ourselves, we start pulling ourselves down. But there's a greater way of living our lives. We all know that. But usually we don't know what is that greater way of living, right? How to get to that higher vibrational state, how to raise my energy, how to become more productive, more creative. And the answer is in cycles of nature, while nature is teaching us to live within the laws of nature, to live within the cycles, the rhythms of nature. So why April is so interesting month? Because it comes with the number 4, and number 4 reminds us of 4 main elements of nature, right? The fire, the earth, the water, and the air. And then the 5th one is kind of the mystical one, the mysterious one, which is ether, that is in the background, like you're observing the nature, or you're observing the nature of yourself, your character, your personality, the way you behave. And then that 5th element is the observer, the point of consciousness that is looking on everything. So we are looking at 4 different elements and we are wondering what it has to do with me and what it has to do with yourself. Well, the element of fire is the sense of inspiration. We are all inspired for something, but if we ignore the inspiration, the fire will not just burn out or disappear. It will be suppressed. And if we don't take care of, or if we don't recognize what inspires us, we will never do something that can bring us a sense of meaning and purpose. So we may be inspired to take care of our priorities. We may be inspired to aim towards our goals. We may be inspired to help someone. We may be inspired to make art or whatever it is. But if we don't take care of that, we may feel like we've kind of pushed ourselves away, like we're not true to ourselves. So the element of fire is so important. That's what inspires us to keep up, right? That's what inspires us to aim towards goals that are for the highest good of all. And if we truly set those kind of goals, like it's almost impossible to not be inspired to walk towards them, right? Then there's an element of earth. Earth element is reminding us to ground our roots, especially in the times of the storms. Storms make trees grow deeper roots. We know that. But when it comes to our lives, every single day we may be exposed to certain storms in our relationships, in certain financial situations, in daily life, at your job or wherever. And earth element reminds you to ground your roots, to go outside into the nature and reconnect with it. Go for a long walk, go close to a river, go into the forest and just, reconnect yourself. Just be there and empty your mind. Empty your mind with the with the inspiration of wonderful colors and structures and everything that's happening around you. That's what earth element is reminding you. You can deepen your roots through meditation, for example. Sit down and just be there for yourself. Be there and be like, listen to yourself, what's going on, accept all different sensations, because it's all life. You're sensing life. When you sense stress, you sense life that's out of coherence. When you sense sadness, you're sensing life that is not reaching its full potential. When you're sensing joy, you're sensing life that is glowing, right? You're always sensing life, and in those different sensations, there are answers, and that's what we call wisdom of life. So if you're in tune with those answers, you will find what you need to focus on. And that's what earth element is reminding you. Then there's element of water. Water element is reminding you to be fluid in your life. Water is like a gentle element, but if you go to the seaside and you observe the rocks on the beach, you can notice holes on the rocks. That's what water did, through gentleness but consistency, right? Determination, consistency. Water is reminding us that we can do anything we want with a great amount of consistency and gentleness. So what it means? It means that we don't need to force anything because we want to experience fast results. It's all about determination and patience. Water is the most patient element, right? And it is reminding us that you need to set up your goals so you can set a stream in which kind of direction you're about to flow. But you need to stay consistent and true towards those goals, so you will not lose the motivation and fire for keeping up, right? So when you set up those certain goals, you set a direction. This is where I'm going. But then stay consistent, because through consistency you will get to where you want to be. And often we're wondering why it's so hard for me to be consistent. And the answer is because your muscle of consistency is weak, because you haven't trained it. Like biceps or any other muscle, when you're training it, it becomes stronger. When you're training consistency by staying true to what's important to you, it will become much easier to be consistent. So for myself, the easiest way to train consistency is to firstly find something that I'm really passionate about, and then just I set a goal, like every single day I will do something for this project, something for this thing. Like that's how I've started painting. I said I will make one painting a day. When I've started making these videos, I said I will make one video a day. And it doesn't mean that you should do one thing a day, but you need to set a certain goal that will help you to stay consistent with that project, with that thing, whatever it is. That's the element of water. A symbol of gentleness and consistency. Like Mahatma Gandhi said that through gentleness we can shake the world. And that is so true, because you don't need to just scream what you're working on. You can do it in quietness, but with a great amount of consistency, results will speak for itself, right? And that is powerful. And then we have the element of air. What's that? Well, air reminds us to be adaptable, to be resilient. Air reminds us to expand yourself, to expand your mind, to to learn to be as flexible and adaptable as possible. Because even when we set goals, even when we have that great vision for the future, sometimes things may not go the way we are designing them. Because there's a difference from your intellectual understanding of what's best for you and your heartfelt understanding of what's best for you. And if we are living too much in our minds, we may ignore what's happening in our hearts, and mind may be easily influenced by our environment. So we don't truly know, like, is that my voice? Or is this the voice of my heart? Am I following my intuition, or am I following just those certain desires that may be coming from our external environment? So the air element is reminding us to get outside of your mind and see everything else that's also present. You may experience a sense of intuition. You may experience an internal feelingness and knowingness. Oh, that's what's right. Because on that intellectual level, you may think, oh, I want that kind of a car because it looks cool. But on the heart level, you may feel, I just want to be free. I want to experience a sense of freedom. So when we have these two different goals, the whole journey of life may be different, right? When you have a goal, just that certain car, for example, you will not be looking so much for a sense of purpose or anything. You will just be looking for whatever can provide you the amount of money that will help you to buy that kind of a car, which is nothing wrong with that. But when you have a sense of a deeper goal, like feeling free, this is my main goal, I want to feel free, then you will focus on purpose, you will focus on a mission, you will focus on a bigger meaning, whatever you will find, and you will aim towards it. And on that path, of course, you will come across things that will, or ideas that will help you to turn certain things into financial income. You will find new people that are maybe walking on the same mission, working on the same mission. You will meet many different things, and eventually you will be able to buy that car, that house, that whatever. But what's more important, your journey doesn't stop at getting that thing, because we are never completely free. We always find a next degree of freedom. We always find a next degree of purpose. We always find a next degree of meaning. But if our goal is just on certain material thing, once we get it, the journey is over. And when the journey is over, we start to feel stuck. We start to feel like we've achieved everything, and now there's no purpose and meaning for our future. So we lose ourselves a little bit. And then that air element reminds us to unlimit yourself, to free yourself from certain ideas and actually recognize what's in your heart and expand yourself. How to expand yourself? Well, find a practice in a day that helps you to get out of your mind, right? Meditation is a beautiful practice because you go from thinking to feeling. Meditation is all about feeling. So when you go from thinking to feeling, you start to feel what's right. And we then rehearse that process, because usually we try to think what we are feeling about, what we feel, right? But when we in tune with the feeling, we start to think out of that feeling, right? That's when we start thinking more intuitive thoughts. We start to act more intuitively. We take encouraged actions because we start trusting that inner feeling. So maybe in the past you were like trying to outthink what's happening within your body, but then you've maybe started meditating and you naturally in tune with your inner sensations, inner knowingness, feeling like, oh, this is wrong, this is right. You can detect the difference and you in tune with that. And then you start acting out of that feeling and you become more intuitive. This is the process where we go from thinking to feeling, we go from feeling to thinking. And that's why expansion of our intellect is so important, so we can gain words that can help us to explain what we actually feel, or better said, it can help us to express what we feel. That's where we start expressing ourselves. So if it sounds too complicated, it basically means that if we don't gain the right words, we will not be able to express what we feel. That's why we need to expand our mind. That's why they say knowledge is power, because the right knowledge can help you to express your soul. And that's something that we can think about when it comes to this month of April. It's all about expansion, being grounded, having the right goals for the future, and making sure that before you do anything, you tap into your inner wisdom and you just ask what feels right. You in tune with those inner sensations. And you rather than anything else, you ask yourself what your higher self would do at this moment, what your future self would do at this moment, what the most virtuous you would do at this moment, so you can walk towards that version of yourself. And I think that's something really beautiful. So when you're setting a vision for your future, don't just set some material goals. Of course, they are important, and set them with precise details. But beyond them, put feelings, put emotions, put relationships, how we want to feel. And beyond that, put the most virtuous you. Like what kind of virtues you are embodying as the future self, so we can aim to become that version of yourself. And all those material things that are below that will just become a part of your life, but they're not the main priorities. And if we intentionally teach ourselves to think that way, the main priority is that version of ourselves, then all those emotions we are experiencing and relationships we're having, and then those material things, you've maybe or most probably noticed that when something is not so important, it's much easier to manifest it. It's much easier to experience it, because we're not focusing so much on when that thing will happen. But as soon as we place a lot of focus onto something, a lot of importance onto something, it's actually hard to stop thinking about it, to let go of it. And that's why it's so hard for many people to create results in finances or in relationships, because if something becomes so important, we can't stop thinking about it. And if we can't stop thinking about it, it's hard to find solutions, because we only see a problem, right? And we usually just need to refocus our attention to something that may be a bit more important than that thing. And usually that's personal growth and a sense of service to others, a help, as something that we can provide to people around us. So my friends, I hope we found something valuable here today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Until next time, one love.